There is something so profound in the Bible that we just skip over all the time. We all know the story of Paul and his conversion, how he went from Saul, who persecuted Christians, to Paul, who loved Jesus and gave his life for the gospel. And we know that this happened because Jesus met him in a vision and said, "Hey, Saul, you're persecuting me. Cut it out." But then after Jesus' resurrection and ascension into heaven, we also see that Peter had a similar vision. Peter's just out working on his roof one day, and God gives him a vision. And in this vision, God instructs him to prepare and eat these unclean animals, which symbolizes the Gentiles being given the gospel as well. And Peter's like, "Oh no, Lord, I would never do that." And God's response is, "Do not call something unclean that God has called clean." So what do these two things have in common? What do those two stories tell us? It tells us that God will correct the way we think we understand things. See, you can study your Bible backwards and forwards. You can read all of the commentaries. You can go to Bible college. You can do all of the things, but you will never understand it like the author does. So why not ask him? In order for us to understand anything about the Bible, we need to have a personal relationship with the one who wrote it. And we also need to be open to that kind of correction. I can't tell you how many times I have been reading something and I think I understand it and I think I know what I'm supposed to do. And God will say, "Actually, this is what I meant by that." And he'll take this rule that I had learned and flip it on its head. But what that does is draws me into deeper relationship with him. It draws me into deeper understanding of who he is and what his heart is like. So how do you get to know who he is to you? You got to talk to him. Listen, what's the difference in knowing everything about a celebrity and having a personal relationship with a celebrity? You got to talk to them. You can't stand at a distance and learn every fact about their life and think that you know them. It's the same thing with God. We can read all about him, or we can get to know him. And in order to get to know him, you got to start speaking to him, and you got to start learning how he speaks back to you. He is always speaking to all of his children, but sometimes he speaks in different ways according to your personality and how you best hear. So you got to be able to tune in and hear his voice. And it takes practice. But listen, I don't want to just preach at you and tell you what you need to do. I want to help you get there, okay? I have so many videos on my page about learning to hear God's voice. I actually have a playlist about it if you want to go check that out. All of those videos are absolutely free, okay? But if you really want to go deep and you want all of that information just concise and organized and in one place, that is exactly why God had me write this book, 7 Days to a Life of Limitless. How to ditch the rules of religion and discover unrestricted freedom. This is 3 years worth of information about me seeking a relationship with God and learning who he really is and not just what I learned about him. So if you're interested in learning what I've learned and skipping ahead 3 years, you might want to check this out. But don't take my word for it. Go look at the reviews for yourself. See how it's helped people, and I pray that it helps you too. I have signed copies of this available on TikTok Shop or on my website, or if you just want fast free shipping, you can get it on Amazon. And if I happen to sell out, don't worry, I restock every single day, so just check back tomorrow.